Hey friends, this is Lindsay Law with Youth Rising. Some of the feedback I got from my last video is that people wanted more examples of some of these cognitive distortions, especially from my children. So I'm going to try to get a few more examples from my kids that may help you out, and this will just be a short little video. Hey Clara, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Do you remember what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday?
I threw myself down on the blanket that we're sitting on and said, I'm gonna die.
And then when I asked you, what was happening for you, what did you tell me?
I don't
Well,
really remember.
you said that you had a headache. And so then we talked about it and we realized that maybe you were catastrophizing. You were making your headache kind of like a bigger thing than it really was. Do you think so?
It really did hurt though.
Yeah, but do you think you're gonna die because you have a headache?
No.
No, probably not. But that's one thing that our brain does sometimes when we're not feeling good or we're having a strong emotion. We go to like the worst case scenario, don't we? Well, I'm glad you're feeling better today.
So I have a daughter who is an extremely creative person, and she decided that she wanted to make a greenhouse. The materials she had available were some old wood pallets. And so she pulled these wood pallets apart, cut the wood, attached it together, used plastic to create the outer part of the greenhouse. She did a really great job. And at one point she said to me, "My greenhouse isn't working, Mom." And I looked out there and I saw the amazing things she'd done already. She has these shelves in there that can move from one level to the other. Everything fits very specifically. So we had a little chat and I said, "Not everything about your greenhouse isn't working. There's lots of things that have worked really well about your greenhouse." We talked about how she was using a mental filter as she looked at her greenhouse, and the trouble she was having was creating the lid, and her first attempt at making the lid didn't work out. And so this is when she had said, "My greenhouse isn't working." And we realized that she was just looking at the things that weren't working through a negative filter instead of seeing the things that were working. And when I mentioned the positive things about her greenhouse, she discounted those. "Well, yeah, but my lid's not working." Sometimes mental filter and discounting the positive go together. We filter out the positive information, and then when someone mentions something positive, we discount it. Like it doesn't count because of all of the other things that aren't working out. So this was an opportunity for us to discuss this cognitive distortion or unhelpful thinking style of mental filter and discounting the positive to help move our thoughts to something more realistic and positive about this project. And she did eventually figure out a way to do the lid, get all of her plants in her greenhouse.
So I hear you've been doing some running.
Yep.
Yep. And what did you say the other day about your running?
I was so horrible at running
Oh, and why did you say that?
because I didn't beat Isaac in a race.
We talked about how sometimes when we lose a game or a race, sometimes we might go to maybe all or none thinking and say, "Oh, I'm so bad at running." But do you think even people that are good at running sometimes don't win?
Yeah, even the best runners don't win.
Yeah, not all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we need to look at the times that, do you think you have won a race before?
Yeah?
Yeah. So is it possible that maybe sometimes you win and sometimes you lose and you're not necessarily bad at running? So that's just a few examples from our week from my kids, but hopefully that sheds some light into some more of how cognitive distortions come up in our lives and in our kids' lives. Hope that helps.